Everybody, gilbertblaze is here with another video. Before I start with the Manhattan Mayhem review, just want to give a special shout out to the late great Mitsuharu Misawa. You know, everyone knows how great of a wrestler he was and what he meant for the wrestling business in general, and he was just phenomenal. I mean, I remember I started watching him actually back when he was wrestling Joe. I was like a late bloomer to his matches, to his caliber of wrestling, unfortunately. So when I started watching him with his matches with Joe, I was like, wow, this guy's incredible. And I regret not seeing much of his work when he was alive. But now that unfortunately that he passed on, I began a chance to see more and more of his work, and he truly was a phenomenal wrestler. ROH did a great job in giving him a little tribute before the show started. They all came out, every wrestler, including Ric Flair, they all came out. They gave a 10-bell salute, and they gave a moment of silence, which is very classy of ROH to do, to remember him by. It was a great gesture. So to the late great Mitsuharu Misawa, may you rest in peace. So on to the show. I got to the arena actually 3 hours in advance because, you know, Ric Flair was doing an autograph signing, and to meet Ric Flair was truly a great moment. As soon as I got there, you know, I was like starting to like shake a little bit, like you know, I was like nervous, and I was like, Mr. Flair. I kept calling him Mr. Flair. So I was like, Mr. Flair, I just wanted to thank you for all you've done for this business. I shook his hand, and he shook my hand, and he said, you know, thank you, and he said, I appreciate guys like you telling me that, because it makes my job, doing my job, a lot easier. And so he signed this picture right here, folks. It's Flair and Arn Anderson back in the NWA days. Great era of wrestling. And he put my name, said Gilbert Ric Flair, and I'm going to treasure this photo for the rest of my life. This is a classic. This is amazing, and I'm so honored to have met him. And he was very nice, very polite, and very courteous. So Ric Flair, big ups, man, big ups. So now on to Manhattan Mayhem 3. This was a decent show. It wasn't the best ROH show in my opinion, but it was very decent with a couple of great matches and a couple of duds, unfortunately. So you start off with the opener, the Young Bucks versus Rhett, Titus, and Kenny King. This opener was great. It was a great way to start the show. High-flying match, fast-paced. It was great. The Young Bucks and Kenny King, in my opinion, stood out in this match. Rhett Titus, I've been a big fan of Rhett Titus, but he didn't do that good in this match. Kenny King, a lot of people may remember him from Tough Enough days. He came a long way from the way he started. He had some great kicks in his match. He was doing great kicks, like really stiff kind of shots on both of the Young Bucks. And these guys remind me of the Hardy Boys back from 98, 99. They had the same look almost of the plaid bandanas, the plaid pants, you know, tights. They looked just like them, and they actually finished off the match with a great Swanton moonsault combo on a Rhett Titus to win the match. And these guys are really good. I don't know too much about them yet, but I hope they sign with ROH and they have some more matches along the way with them, because these guys really excited the crowd. The crowd was really pumped up and hyped for them, and the Young Bucks did great in a 3-star match. So next you have Necro Butcher versus the Embassy's Jimmy Rave, with Prince Nana and another guy that I always seem to forget. I always seem to forget his name. But this match to me was a dud. You know, Necro Butcher's matches always turn out into like a brawl, and we've seen better brawls with Necro Butcher. This match just didn't really flow very well at all. It was really nothing. But I will say this, Prince Nana is a funny dude. Prince Nana is hilarious, and I really enjoyed his work. But Necro Butcher and Jimmy Rave just didn't really work well together with me. So I would just give this a 1.5-star match. Then Flair came out, cut a promo. A really good promo. He talked about, you know, thanking the fans, and hyping up ROH, talking about how great of a promotion it is, and how this is the future. And he started hitting on a girl in the audience, you know, classic Flair stick right there. And then after that, he left, and that was apparently the end of his night right there, because he didn't come out during the main event because of reasons of it was going to be shown on ROH television, and as we all know, he can't be seen on ROH television no more. So the third match we had was Roderick Strong versus Sonjay Dutt. This match was really good. It wasn't amazing, it wasn't great, but it was good enough to really have like a match where, okay, these two really work well together. Sonjay Dutt, to me, I gotta say, Sonjay looked very different to me. He got more stocky and beefy, and a lot of people were speculating that maybe he's doing steroids because his back was just layered with pimples everywhere, and that's a sign of steroid use. I don't know if it's true or not, but he did look different to me. But he still was, you know, his usual high-flying self. Great matches. Roderick Strong, you know, he worked the chops like crazy. Nice, stiff, hard chops. He works well. I know when he works with a high flyer, he becomes like the strong guy of the match, where he's like the big guy in a sense, and to try to ground the high flyer. But he did really well with Sonjay. He did a combination of backbreakers into a Tiger Driver to finish off the match to get the win in a 3 1/4 match right there. It was a really good match. It was solid. It wasn't awesome, but it was solid enough for me to be entertained by it. So next you had, and I took notes, so bear with me, the first blood match with Jimmy Jacobs and Tyler Black. This by far was like the biggest dud of the card. I was just shocked how quick it was. I mean, they started off brawling right off the bat before the bell started. So I was standing like actually right next to the entranceway, and they did Jimmy Rave got suplex on the rampway there. So it was a nice little spot right there, hard shot. But mind you, the bell hadn't started yet. So once they got into the ring, then the bell started, and 30 seconds into the match, like no lie, 30 seconds into the match, Jimmy Jacobs took out his spike, and he just hit Tyler Black with it, cut him open, boom. The match was over. Now anyone that was next, like to the first rows, you clearly saw that he never even touched Tyler Black with his forehead. You know, the spike basically went like this way. So then Tyler Black did the blade job. So it looked kind of fake there. It was too fake looking, but it was such a dud. I mean, it was so quick. The audience was shocked. They were like, what the hell? Like, the first blood match ended so fast. So Tyler Black was enraged. After the match, he completely tore up the referees, and then he announced that he wanted to cash in his title shot, so to make the main event from a singles match to a triple threat match. So that's later on in the card. So then next you have Four Corners match, which is basically a good filler. Claudio Castonelli, D'Lo Brown, Colt Cabana, and Bryan Danielson. Colt Cabana gets the win with basically the Billy Goat Curse submission hold on D'Lo. This was an okay match. It was okay for what it was. It wasn't spectacular. You know, that Bryan Danielson, they really don't know what to do with him no more. It just seems like he's just floating into the mid card, and he's not into the main event at all anymore. So he's just floating around now. I don't see nothing more for him to do in ROH anymore, really. But Colt Cabana gets the win. Good job for him. So then next you have the tag team submission match. This match was phenomenal. It was great from start to finish. All four guys, you know, El Generico, Kevin Steen, the American Wolves, they work well together. So we seen the heels, American Wolves, they take out El Generico's knee brace and they start working on his knee. Eddie Edwards does some kind of bow and arrow pin to make El Generico tap out. So they still remain the ROH Tag Team Champions. The American Wolves are a great tag team ROH, and I like to see more of them. I hope they had the titles for a long time. But after the match, Steen cut a little promo talking about how they want to reach to the top of the ladder. So that kind of gives a segue to maybe they're going to have a ladder match coming up real soon. So that should be interesting right there. Then next you have another kind of a dud match. You got Jay Briscoe versus Little Guido going at Guido Maritato. You know, Guido's return, or not really return, but his debut in ROH. It was okay. It was what it was. But Jay Briscoe hit the J Driller on Guido, 1, 2, 3. That was done and over with. So now you have the main event, a phenomenal main event, triple threat match. Jerry Lynn defending the title against Austin Aries and Tyler Black. These guys all work well together. A lot of high flying spots, a lot of great action, great wrestling, great technique. In the middle of the match, see Tyler Black did the small package driver on Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn is out, 1, 2, 3, gone. The crowd couldn't believe it. They were like, wow, Jerry Lynn, the current champion, is done. So now we're going to be crowned a new champion. So these Austin Aries, Tyler Black went at it. 450 splash from Austin. It didn't work. Brainbuster, it didn't work. You know, Tyler Black went for the Phoenix Splash, didn't connect. And so they was going back and forward until finally Austin hit another brain buster on Tyler Black and got the 1, 2, 3, and he makes history and becomes the first ever 2-time ROH World Champion. and a great solid match right there. It was at least 3.5 stars. So I know I did this really fast, folks, but I think I'm over the 10-minute limit. Hope you all have a good time. Talk to you later. Peace.